Hello, Jester Good here. Today I'm reading the LEGO Cars 3 Florida 500 Final Race Set, which has 266 pieces, 5 vehicles, and retails for $50 in the United States. This release is August 1st. I got out a little bit early, and now let's take a look at the build. So this set is basically a series of separate builds. You have Mack the Truck, Cruz Ramirez, Jackson Storm, Lightning McQueen, Guido, a trophy stand, a gas pump, a finish line, this little observation stand, and then 6 of these little race lines. So here is Jackson Storm. Of course, we're going to start with him, but the top of the car is actually an exclusive piece that does not appear in any other sets. I really like the design on there with the nice shine. You got kind of a cocky look. And the front of the vehicle uses a front hood that we have seen in other sets. What I don't like about it is that the printing gets cut off because of that middle section. I guess there's no way to avoid that, but it looks a little bit weird. They do have a nice little logo right there. And of course, you have the 2x4 tiles on the side, which looks so high tech. My favorite part of the vehicle, besides probably the top of the car, are these wheels, which look great. They're this piece that, the inside uses 3 different colors. You have the actual piece coloring, which is gray. Then you have this nice kind of blue circle around it. Then these 5 yellow specks. And of course, the tire just goes over there, but it's a very cool piece. The back of the vehicle also has some nice printing on one of those older roof tile pieces, a 2x4 one, so that's very impressive. Kind of weird though, because now it has kind of a matte design, but you do have lots of nice coloring on there. And that's really it for Jackson Storm, a very sleek looking car. So here's Lightning McQueen. I'm not going to say any details on how this comes to play in the movie, but he is this nice dark blue, exclusive to the set. And you can see it says Fabulous Lightning McQueen on the 2x4s on the side. Also, you got 51, 51, 51, 51, the Lightning McQueen up top. A nice confident smile in the front. And then the back does have that new tail piece in blue. Now, of course, these differ from the regular LEGO cars from 2011 and 2012 because it just uses one frame for the whole car. And also, it uses a 1x2 tile instead of a 1x2 plate up front. So here is Cruz Ramirez. This version is exclusive for the Dynaco logo all over, which is a nice little Toy Story reference that comes into play in the Cars universe. You see Dynaco 51 on the side up top as well, and also a nice shine on the side windows. And now Cruz Ramirez has a wing on the back of the car, which you can position as you'd like. Unfortunately, she has the same kind of eye positioning as she does in all the other versions, which is kind of weird since this does have new printing. And the back of the car actually has some more new printing with Dynaco on it. And I actually really like this print because it carries through these 2 pieces just perfectly because they decided to cut it off right where that rectangle that says Dynaco kind of comes in. It's a very clever way to get through that. Guido is the same one that comes in the Luigi and Guido set. It would have been cool if they did like a new facial design or something to make him look more determined, just to make him exclusive to this set. But still don't like this version. I think I vastly prefer the 2011 version, especially since you can't fit like a little wheel in between here to hold. Now, of course, a lot of the build of the set goes into this new version of Mack, and you can compare it to the 2011 Mack, this one right here, and see how much smaller it is. And trust me, this one has a lot of differences. So like the 2011 one, it uses 2 slope pieces for the eyes, but unlike the 2011 one, this front part is all just printed. It's a very specialized piece. You can see how it's molded and how much of the set it actually takes up. It takes up that much space, so you'll only really have some brick building to go right around here. There are some nice printed pieces like the 95 on the side. I also love how they use this piece for the kind of cap for the rest of these logo, which is also printed as well. And this uses a big specialized piece, which is this whole base part for the trailer. Now these are all separate pieces, thankfully, and you can see how they're all built up with some great printing on there, so you don't have to really, carefully put on stickers. And the back, oof, I don't really like that, how there's sort of an opening, but I guess the original one sort of had a problem with an opening as well. They just really use this ramp right here, which you can push down. It does have some nice kind of designs on there. And inside you could fit a few cars. And you would just kind of wheel them in, just like that. Now you could fit a total of 2 cars. I have Cruz and Lightning. I don't like how the top part has no roof. It looks kind of ugly. Now I know why this is there though. It's so the little kids could kind of pop the cars out easily. Just gotta push them out just like that. And inside, unlike the original one, there's no pieces whatsoever. It's really super blank. It's just supposed to be meant to hold the cars. And if you're curious, the back side right here has just as much printing as the other side, and basically the same designs. And one improvement I really like over the original is the use of a loose ball joint to connect the trailer to the truck. It allows for a lot of movement, but it's stuck in there pretty well. The original just used this little pole that you stick into a hole that sometimes get a little bit loose, but if you want to remove it, you could easily do it just like that. But that's it for the build of Mack, and now let's take a look at all the other side builds. And for all these little side builds, I mean, they really didn't skimp out on a raceway. There's this little starting archway right here, which is so funny because it uses most of the same colors as the Duplo set, which I think is really cool in consistency. Like, they even have like the little transparent blue slopes right there, which looks great. And I really like that printed kind of a timer part up here, which is a 1x4 tile, and it looks really neat. And they have 6 of these raceway lines, which you can kind of make your own raceway out of, which I guess is a nice little design. And this is a little observation stand for the Florida 500. We have this nice little panel right here with a printed piece with all these statistics for the Florida 500, a nozzle piece that you can make Guido hold, as well as a little fire extinguisher, and you can just kind of connect those to this part right here on Guido. This side right here, you can see they use this piece in blue, which I haven't seen in blue before. Probably does come in some other sets though. And also the Florida 500 printed 2x4 tile, which looks pretty neat. And you can kind of raise and lower these flags right here, which is nice as well. So there's a pit stop and a trophy stand. This little trophy right here, I don't know how the cars can hold it, but it's a nice piece to get. I haven't seen it in a while, and it has a nice kind of pearl gold coloring to it. And also these printed checkered flags are pretty cool. And this little pit stop right here has a nice pump that you can make Guido hold by sticking it in one of these parts right here. But when you do that, it kind of take control of Guido because of how this wiring works. They do have a nice little wrench right there. So that's it for the build of the set. Now let's go on to the packaging and then the final verdict. Here's the front of the box. Here's the back of the box. You do get 2 instruction booklets, which look like they could be their own separate sets. This one has a nice illustration, and this one has a few nice illustrations, which I always like getting in the junior sets. There's an advertisement for the other car sets, and they leave out this set to avoid spoilers, I guess. So overall, look, okay, this set will easily appeal to the kids. It'll appeal to the Pixar fans and the Cars fans, but outside of that demographic, it doesn't really appeal to the AFOLs because there's not much going for those adults. And I'm going to rate it as a whole, you know, how well it does on appealing towards kids, because this is aimed towards kids, and how well it does appealing towards adults. And I just feel like for the adults, they're only going to find some joy in some of the pieces, like the tiles and also the wheels on Jackson Storm, which look great. But the rest of the builds they're just going to ignore, which is quite a shame, because I do like the Cars builds. I think there's a nice collectability factor. But, you know, the Cars series in general features these really cartoony characters. I mean, there's eyes on cars. How weird is that? So it usually doesn't appeal to adults anyways. So with all that considered, I'd put this right in the middle at a C. Because, look, it'll appeal towards a younger demographic, and it does an excellent job for that. I think kids will find a lot of enjoyment from the price with $50. You get a lot of stuff to play with. But the adults, you'll find some joy in some of the pieces, but that's about all you get. So that's how I would rate this set. So what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.